Okay. So fun. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming on and being here with us this evening. I am more than thrilled to share with you guys a little bit about the experience that we all had from the recent leaders retreat that we just got back from Orlando. And there is just something about events. Am I right? I mean, man, they just fire you up. Like they just pour into you. The way that Plexus loves us, it's an opportunity for them to physically show it to us. You know, we see it, we hear it, all the things, but going somewhere in person and getting that one-on-one touch experience is just totally different. So I'm going to start the call off with one big encouragement. If you are not signed up for convention, sign up for convention. It will sell out and you want to be there. You want to get refreshed, reignited, recharged. The motto or the theme for our leaders retreat was fired up, and we left nothing short of fired up for Plexus and for our business. So without further ado, I am going to share with you guys. I'm just going to share with you a little bit because I feel like I talk a lot and I don't want to do that tonight. I want y'all to hear from these other incredible ladies and I want you to hear their hearts. And just for respect of time, I'm going to keep my part short and sweet. And I am just going to share with you guys one thing, and that's it. One little sentence that has stuck with me that I have repeated over and over and over the last week that I have been home. And it is something that Alec Clark shared with us. And somebody may repeat this, and I hope they do, because it was powerful and it was important. And he said that in Plexus, to be successful, you must maintain a culture where people are the purpose. And guys, that was just one of the most incredible reminders throughout the whole thing, is that if we can just keep people the purpose, then that shifts every little domino that falls into place in our business, because it's not about anything else. It is about others. And I bet somebody else is going to talk about servanthood. And if they don't, I'll piggyback on that a little bit with what he was saying in regards to that. So right now I'm going to pass it off and be quiet and let Elizabeth share with you guys her takeaway. So Elizabeth, go ahead.
Okay, so I was super excited. It's my first in-person event, and that was huge. I love the energy. Just being amongst all the people was just amazing. Everybody in Plexus, from Alec and Tarl down, all the way to the people who checked us in at the registration, to those who were guiding us, go this way, go that way, wherever, telling us where to go. They all made us feel so special, so important, appreciated. I've heard them say before, without you, we don't have a job. And so they support us in such a unique and special way. And I love that. One thing that I really took away was to own my leadership, to focus on people. And there were 4 points that were brought up. One was humility, that great leaders often begin with humble beginnings. Another was servanthood. Great teams are led by generous giving people, serving others well. Consistency. When I set a consistent temperature, my team will do the same. And then belief. And of course, that's in myself, in the company, in the products, in network marketing, what I do. So that was really, really huge to me. And then David Salyer, who was the chief executive director of marketing, came and he made a comment about perspective. And he said, that really stuck with me: how we view things will drive how we do things. And so that's just powerful to me. It really said something about my view on it. And, if I get up in the morning, I'm not in the right mindset, I guess, then it's going to alter how I go throughout my day and all of my different, different things that I have going on, but especially my business. If I get up and I just don't want to put anything into it, then how I view it's going to drive how I do it. Versus if I have a good view of it, then I'm going to be willing and anxious and excited to serve others and serve them well. And that's the temperature, it's the thermostat that I want to set. So that's all I have. Pass on to Kathy, maybe. Next up.
All right, you guys. So I am driving, so hopefully you guys can hear me well. But I loved everything that you shared, Elizabeth, and you're exactly right. Like in-person events, there's nothing like it. And I feel like they treat us so well. They love on us so well. So I absolutely agree that. So my big takeaway was also from the chief marketing executive at Chick-fil-A. He was our keynote speaker. And what really stood out to me that he said is that when he went to his stores and spoke with the proprietors and asked them, what did they do? None of them said that they were chicken salesmen. None of them thought they sold chicken for a living. And, you know, I love that, because it's like, we are not in the supplement industry. We are in the leadership, and we are in the business to change people's lives from this opportunity, and supplements is the vessel. And it kind of helped me change that perspective. I feel like I have always led with the supplements, right? That's what I'm comfortable with. That's why I started. But you know what? That's not why I stay. Now, it is why I stay, because I stay with the products. It's not why I continue to share. I continue to share because, yes, I believe that these products are life-changing. Just like Chick-fil-A, people love those sandwiches, right? They go back because the sandwiches are good. But you guys, we also go back because the service is top-notch, right? We go back for the experience. I could also go to Cane's right next door. They sell chicken. But why is the line longer at Chick-fil-A? Well, the line is longer at Chick-fil-A because of the experience that we get when we go there. And so I love that. And I loved, again, the perspective of, while yes, the vessel is the chicken sandwich, the vessel is the supplements, but what I'm really doing is I'm empowering other people. I'm leading other people to financial freedom. I'm changing people's lives in personal growth, in so many things outside of the supplements. And so that was a really big takeaway from me. And I'm sorry, I'm driving and I can't remember who I passed it off to.
We're going to go ahead and let Kim go.
Sorry, I was on mute.
I think I was supposed to go first and was late on the call because I was on another call, so I can hop on here. I love that, Kathy. And one of the proprietors had said, when David asked him this question, one of the Chick-fil-A proprietors had said, what is it you do? And he said, I am a leadership development academy masquerading as a fast food restaurant. And I love that, because if you go to work every day thinking that what I do is I develop leaders, I'm a leadership development academy, you treat your employees differently, right? Your whole approach to business is different because your business is developing leaders. And as opposed to those fast food restaurants that just hire minimum wage high school workers, right? If that's because they need to sell fast food. So if that's what you're going to, anyway, I love that. And that wasn't what I was going to talk about, but I love that so much, Kathy. So I had to also reiterate that he was so good. My takeaway that I wanted to talk about with you guys is really on, I loved the focus on leadership development at this retreat. I mean, it's a leaders retreat, I get it, but they really doubled down on the discussions on leadership. And everybody here is a leader in one sense or the other. If you have one person, if you're a mom, if you've got, siblings, I mean, literally everybody is leading in some way. And so we all need to get better at leadership. And as we grow our business here with Plexus, we need to grow more leaders. And I say it all the time that leaders are not found, they're developed. And I talk to my kids about this kind of stuff all the time, but they had a segment on finding and developing leaders. And I really, really like that. One of the points was, as you're trying to find people to do this business with you, as you're trying to find leaders, like maybe they're already in your virtual office, be very, very deliberate and intentional and discerning in choosing who you want to do this business with, because some people will be a good fit for this business and some people will not. So be really, really intentional about choosing. This is not like we're going to take everybody with a pulse type thing. Like, who do you really want to do this business with? Because guys, you're going to go on vacation every year to Hawaii with these people. So make sure they're good quality people, because you're going to be spending a lot of time with them. So not just people with a pulse, people that you really want to do this business with. The second thing was, be clear about who you're looking for. So what kinds of characteristics are you looking for in that person? Really sit back and think, what am I looking for? As I scroll through Facebook, as I make new connections, I'm looking for people with integrity, right? I'm looking for people who have good character. I'm looking for people who are self-motivated. I'm looking for people that have seen success in their lives somewhere. Do they have a track record of success at all? This doesn't mean they don't have to be the CEO of a company, but just, do they show signs of success anywhere? Because success, guys, doesn't just happen. So I love that one. You want people that are hungry for change, and you want people that have a growth mindset. You want people that are not satisfied with mediocrity. And sometimes you have to like pull this stuff out of them, because a lot of people will sit there with that desire for change. It's actually asleep inside of them because they've lost hope. So you have to lovingly pull that out of them, really call out their strengths. You know, why do you think they'd be good at this? Why do you want to do this with them? Talk to them about that. And this business is as simple as, go out and find the 4 people that want this as much as you do. Go out and find those 4 people, and then help those 4 people find their 4 people that want to do this with you. I loved the simplicity and really digging into those little nuggets of, who am I looking for? Who do I want to do this business with? Because this community is special. Like, everybody sitting here on this call is special. Who do we want to join us? So I love that. Who's next? Dana, you go next.
Sorry, I was negotiating with a child. In-person events are amazing, like phenomenal. Elizabeth nailed it. Like, they treat you like you're royalty. And it was so nice to be around people again that are like-minded, and the culture and all that. It was the most refreshing. It was just lovely. And Plexus rolls out the red carpet, and everything was beautiful, and the imagery and all that stuff. Some of my takeaways: I am a people watcher. I observe the room. I'm very observant. I think I should have been a detective in my other life. And one of my takeaways, this is totally random and it's weird, but it's something that I really, y'all, everyone's a leader, like Kim said. Every person is a leader, and every person in that room is a leader, obviously, because they earned the trip. But even if you didn't earn the trip, you are still a leader. And it's because of the things that Kim just listed: humility, servanthood. We all have it. And I think a lot of us get caught up in feeling less than because we didn't make the trip, or feeling less than because we didn't achieve this or do this. But I was looking around the room and I was like, you know what? No, everybody has this ability. And I think they then piggyback on perspective, which was huge for me. And one of the things they did, and I don't know if somebody shared it, was this poem, I don't know what it was. And they read it one way, and then they read it the opposite way. And it was a negative impression going down, and then a positive narrative going up, exact same words, just the perspective changed of how you read it. And halfway through, I kind of figured out what they were going to do with this, but it was eye-opening to me. And for me, perspective is everything. And I was listening to some training today, and it kind of triggered what I was going to talk about. The elephant analogy. Everyone's heard the elephant analogy. Has anyone heard this? It's very common, but you go to the circus and the elephant's tied up with a rope around its neck and it's tied to a pole and it doesn't move. And everyone's like, okay, that elephant could move. Like that elephant's a 2-ton animal. It could easily pull that stake out of the ground. But as a young baby elephant, it was conditioned and trained to stay attached to that pole. It fought it as a baby, but they conditioned and trained it to believe that it could not move from that pole. That was its perspective. That was its identity. And I feel like for a lot of us, we're not entrepreneurs by trade. We're breaking down a lot of mental barriers of what we've conditioned our mind and our perspective to be as grown women. And that's not our fault. That's years of conditioning from our families and our upbringings, but our perspective as business owners, as successful business owners, as emeralds, diamonds, sapphires, all the jewel things, like that perspective, when you start to live in that identity rather than, oh, it would be so nice, or, oh, that will be awesome. Or I don't know if I can ever get there. I'm not really an entrepreneur. And I've said those things. I mean, those words have come out of my mouth, but the marketing director's whole idea of change your perspective. It's such a switch of, I am an emerald. I am a diamond. I am a sapphire. And conditioning your mind to start to see yourself in that different perspective, just like they treat their employees as a leadership. Like, I left that meeting and I was like, my kids are going to work at Chick-fil-A. Because how powerful for your teenager to be in a leadership program rather than flipping burgers. Business of empowering women, changing trajectories, leaving legacies rather than selling a bottle of vitamins. Like, what perspective do you want to take? And so that was, for me, like the biggest home run of the lens, whatever you want to call it, whatever analogy you want to use, but changing your lens and the narrative that you want to tell yourself and the story you want to tell yourself and making that identity true. It's so funny because I've always identified myself as an athlete, always. And Kevin makes fun of me every day. Every day he makes fun of me. I work out 5 times a day, because that's my identity. And I'm not saying like, okay, my identity is in Christ, but you know what I'm saying? Like that is something that I have committed to and I have programmed. Up your programming, up your standard. Like if it's senior gold, up it. Like whatever it is, change that perspective. And that was really, really powerful for me because he was, and I'm sure someone going to share how much money they made. Someone needs to share that, because that was really, average income of average income of a fast food chain was 700. What was it, y'all? 700,000? 700,000 a year. One store. That's the average. The gold standard is McDonald's, which I was like, what? So gold standard is McDonald's, and they bring in, was it 3.5? 3.5 million a year? That's what they bring in. Okay. Chick-fil-A is closed 52 Sundays a year. Okay. So they're operating 52 days less than the average fast food restaurant. So they're already at a deficit. $7 million in revenue. $7 million. So whatever they're doing, which he listed what they're doing, and all of it's about perspective and how they treat people and what their mission is. I mean, they're knocking it out of the park, and they're just selling a chicken sandwich. So I just think it's all about perspective and what you believe to be your identity and what you believe to be your standard, and to raise it up. So that's my takeaway. Sorry, I got a little fired up. I don't know who's next.
Is it me? I lost the updated thing.
Rihanna,
okay,
yeah.
All right, good. All right, so this was my very first, the same as Elizabeth, my first in-person Plexus event. And I was blown away, like blown away. It was amazing from just the time we arrived to the time we left, you know, how Plexus just plexified the place, if that's a word. Just, you know, the signs and images everywhere. It was awesome. And my family came with me and they were blown away by everything too. Like, Mom, look at that. You know, it was just amazing. Plexus knows how to put on an event, from everything from the reception and everything they do at the reception, you know, all the different opportunities to take your pictures and, you know, work with your team, the training, the speakers, everything that they put into it, like it just blew my mind. They really pour into their leaders. They pour into, the heart and soul into the people that earn this trip, and really everyone in the company as well. And they definitely got us fired up. I definitely was fired up leaving that event. A couple of my takeaways is one of the things I definitely understood was my purpose at that event, my purpose with Plexus. And as Ella Clark said, my purpose is with the people, is helping the people. Just helping people grow and those leadership qualities that they talked about. Same thing, everyone kind of talked about was David Sawyer, was he really helped us understand perspective. And I know Elizabeth said this quote, but this really stuck with me as well, was how we view things will drive how we do things. And I thought that was super powerful. And he really helped us understand just how you look at things and your perspective on things, and really how to be remarkable. So he talked about being normal and the remarkable. And to me, a lot of those things really caught on. Like, you could look at this and say, we have to do this, we have to help people. But the flip side is we get to do this. We get to help people. We get to be the best company in the world, or for the world. So there was a lot of different ways that he talked about. And another thing that stuck with me was the transformational growth. So your transformational growth begins with your transformational perspective. So how you perceive things will help how you're going to grow in the end. And then the one thing also was, it's the only thing that can transform your results without changing anything, without altering anything, was your environment. And again, that goes back to the transformation in your perspective and how you'd view the different things. And like I said, I was just blown away by everything that Plexus did with this event. And for me, Ella Clark, he talked about the purpose, and the purpose is with the people. But the one thing, not only helping the people, for me, it was the friendships. So, meeting all the team members and the sideline sisters, and not only building obviously relationships with, other people on there, but building the relationships with the team, which I thought was super important to me as well, because that was the first time I met half these ladies. And it was just awesome. Amazing experience. And like Jenny said, if you guys don't have your ticket for convention, definitely go get it after this call, because it's going to be an event you don't want to miss. And I'm super fired up about it. All right, so I will pass it over to, I think Amanda's left, right?
All right, thank you, Rihanna. Oh, this is so hard going at the end, but this was my first in-person Plexus event also. And I think just being there, it felt like unreal, like a dream. It took me a while to just kind of sit and think, like soak everything in, because it was completely unbelievable. I mean, I could not believe that they posted a huge like Plexus sign in the middle of the Gaylord, and like everyone that was getting into the elevator with me was having like Plexus chats about different products and welcome packs, and just being around that many people, like-minded people, and just getting to meet so many people and see so many faces that you see on, calls like this and on YouTube videos, and the diamonds, and seeing all their successes and hearing their stories. And it just made it so real to me, that, we do so much more than just, let me tag me. We do so much more than just sell products, right? We change lives, we transform lives. And so much of the trainings were inspirational. We inspire others, we encourage others, we build them, we foster hope, health, and happiness. And I think that whole experience gave me hope as well. And I brought my family along as well. My husband and kids came, and they got to enjoy the whole thing, and they got to see the culture and see everything. And my husband got to sit in on some of the trainings. And as he's sitting in on them, he's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to start sharing plexus too. And I was like, yes, that's awesome. Like, he was so inspired. He was like, wow, this like culture, this environment is so, just so strong and uplifting. Who doesn't want to be in an uplifting environment, right? So for me, to piggyback off of all the other incredible things that everyone else said about all the speakers and all the quotes, they were all things that I wrote down too, was just hope that anyone can do this, and that you can build a legacy no matter who you are, and inspiring others. And it's so much more to your life than just selling products and getting people to sign on and welcome packs. And, there's just so much more. And it's so much more of a rewarding experience when you shift your perspective to focusing on people and inspiring people and encouraging people than just always focusing on the products, which are amazing and they have changed lives, which I feel like everyone there were there because of the products changed their lives in some way or another, either theirs personally or their family members. So just hearing, and also seeing like the testimonies that you read about and seeing the pictures of people's testimonies that you read about, and then you see them in person, it's like, these are real people, like everyone, these are real people. So yeah, I was so excited to be there and very excited about convention. I've never been to convention before, so that's gonna be my first one too. I hear it's gonna be incredible. So if you haven't, I highly encourage you to go to convention too. Thank you guys for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing. That was so good. Thank you all for sharing. And I'm just going to close this out with a few extra little things and tell you guys that another thing that, since someone hit on this, I want to just say it because our first speaker was Krista Dury, and she shared a very personal testimony about when she was in the NICU and she had a very sick baby with an unpredictable outcome. And the lady came in to clean her room. The lady that comes in and cleans your room while you're in there. It was her that said something very powerful to her. She said, "Don't cry, just pray. Nothing is impossible." And while those words are so impactful, what made a bigger impact on Krista is that it reminded her that it does not matter your title, rank, or position. You can influence somebody. You can have an impact on somebody's life. So don't ever let where you are in this business or where you are not in this business yet determine the impact or the influence that you show up with. Okay, because you are an influencer and you don't have to be some 10,000 follower, 100,000 follower influencer to have influence like they were sharing on here tonight. One thing that David Saylor said also that really impacted me is that every life has a story and every life has a story and every life is a story. And guys, we are in the storytelling business. We are in the business of sharing our story, right? And so our story is important and other people's stories are important. So as you are sharing your stories, Genevieve said it best. Selling plexus, the world of selling, is nothing more than the transfer of inspiration. Guys, and that is our sole purpose in this, is to transfer inspiration, to build belief in someone that this could change their life too. Okay, so you don't have to overthink it. You just got to show up as who you want to be, not who you are right now. Show up. If your goal is to be a diamond, start working and acting like a diamond.
and show up as that diamond to your team. And that is what is going to be influential to your team. That is what's going to inspire them and transfer that inspiration into their business as well. Guys, Leaders Retreat was nothing short of amazing. There was so much more that we could probably be on here till tomorrow, sharing the different stories and tips and takeaways. I promise you, it is incredible. You want to be there next year. But between now and next year, you want to be at convention. And I'm going to tell you, I heard this on a call the other day. Leaders Retreat was like, whoa. But convention is going to be like, wow. Okay. So come get the wow factor at convention and be there with us, because we're all going and we all want to see that. They said from the moment that you step off the plane, you're going to see Plexus. And I can't wait to step off that plane and people know that I'm there with Plexus. That's going to be so exciting. And I want you guys to be there with me. So I'm going to end the call, and I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing evening. And I can't wait to see you guys. And don't forget about Messenger event tonight. So everybody, when we hang up here, go straight over into the Messenger event, show your love and support there. Make sure your people are plugged in. And you guys have a fabulous night. I love seeing all your beautiful faces.